We've brought you here today to hear the tale of Big Roo, the free-roaming rooster. Big Roo, free-roaming rooster. Big Roo, free-roaming rooster. He pecked the eyes out to get to the brains, because that's what he likes to eat. Big Roo, Big Roo, Big Roo.
One day he roamed a little too freely.
The song got more entertaining knowing that it was killed in the end, the rooster, and whacked in the head by a good old boy.
So do you have a verse for that, Matt?
Not at the moment. And then from out of the cabin, old Joe came with his killing stick. He saw Big Roo coming toward him. That's a word I just made up on the quick.
Turn him. Turn him. And
then he hit Big Roo in the head with the Big Roo stick.
Matt, it wasn't a cabin, it was a trailer.
Welcome to another episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker on this
What happened to your hippie hair? You went to the bathroom and now you lost the hippie look. Just realized.
All right, Greg. Greg, why don't you start off the show then?
You just did. Didn't you just say what you needed to say? Welcome.
No, I haven't. I haven't finished the usual.
You can continue.
The usual spiel.
Tonight's guest is Danny DeVito.
Is that
tonight's guest is Uncle
No,
Sylvester.
but yeah, right. He looks like Danny DeVito, but not the current Danny DeVito, but the Danny DeVito from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's exactly right.
That's definitely it.
No,
I was like,
Brendan,
where am I
check this
saying?
out.
Or not Danny DeVito, but the old guy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest who talked kind of like a baby.
But check this out, Brendan. This is my impression.
I'll have to find his picture.
I gotta lower my head and then
he's doing Vincent D'Onofrio right now from Full Metal Jacket.
I am in a world of shit. That looks scary.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker on this August 17th, 2022. I have returned for my trip to Canada, so that's why we're going live today.
Traitor.
We will not what? We will not be talking about Canada in general, but our client for today is That's Nuts, you fruit.
Behold, trapped in a hellscape of their own invention, socially unaware old white men bound by the pretense of being fake lawyers yet knowing no law, no exquisite Latin terminology, they are inexplicably compelled to quibble over minutia, squabble over triflings, and bicker like those who value their backyards far too highly without even knowing the difference between an easement and an alleyway. At this very moment, you have entered the heart of the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. Let's get started.
You know me as the better looking one at the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. But I assure you I have more than a pretty face. As you know, I also recently relocated from Florida, which is one of the reasons I'm a proud patron of today's sponsor, Racists for Refugees. Tonight, in cities all across the country, racists will lay their tired heads down on their pillow and wonder what freedom does, or is, or went, or something. Anyway, they will drift off to sleep wishing they could be somewhere better. And with that idea, a movement was born. Because somewhere outside of Syria, Afghanistan, Myanmar, or Ukraine, someone else goes to sleep wishing they could be someplace else, where someone isn't bombing them or trying to cut their head off. So what Racists for Refugees does is a simple swap. We take the refugee and the country they are fleeing from, it's one of our 100% A-grade USA MAGA-loving racists. Truly a win-win. You can help by sending your non-perishable and non-fungible contributions to Racists for Refugees, P.O. Box 439, Portland, Oregon 97211. Also, stand by for a big announcement from their sister organization, Put Packs of Wolves in U.S. Cities Now. Thank you.
Okay, I'm confused. Because is it a win-win? Like, wouldn't these MAGA hat guys be like, I'm not America. I want to be in America.
That's the win. That's the
For us,
irony.
the win.
For us.
But not
I
for
don't care
them.
about them.
Okay, so it's a win-lose-win.
No, we win and the refugee wins. That's the win-win. We don't really care about
Refugees
it.
win because they get to come to America where they're not getting bombed.
We win because we get the...
We win because the MAGA guys are gone. But the
Right.
MAGA guys don't win. So it's a win-lose-win.
Okay.
They're not happy to be out of America.
I'll rework the script.
Right, it's because they're in one of those shithole countries, as their leader has called
Exactly. They don't want to be in a shithole country.
them. Right.
Yeah.
But they consider ours to be one now anyway, because that's what the whole movement's all about.
It's because the mud people.
The mud
Oh,
people?
shit. We're getting kicked off YouTube now.
What are the mud
What?
people, Greg?
Is that from Dark?
I don't even want to describe it now because we'll get kicked off YouTube.
In the books, the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, the Unbeliever, there literally is a race of people that live in mud.
Are they called the mud people?
I don't know. I don't remember what they're called. They could be called mud. I think they were made from clay. So
Wait, who are those? What are those books? I know that name. Who wrote those?
there's a guy named Stephen R. Donaldson wrote the books.
Yeah, I remember those.
It was about a guy who's a leper and he goes into some other world.
I never read them.
Oh.
I remember those. Those were pretty big in sci-fi.
Yeah, well, he was still making sequels up until like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Even though they came out like in the 80s.
So he's a racist, you're saying?
Did we
No,
ship him off unknowingly?
What about the
He
mud?
might be a racist. I mean, you never find out what people's colors are in these books, so it's very possible he could be racist. I don't know. He's definitely got a thing for lepers, though.
That's creepy.
That's his fetish.
Well, that's his main character is a leper. So there's that. Anyway, so our client for today, thank you very much for funding for our sponsor, though, Brendan. Do appreciate that. Hopefully people will also appreciate it. And anybody who's watching on YouTube right now, which is probably Sanchez El Dorado or Shandy Pants, put a question for Greg now for later when we go to Ask Greg so we can have it in time as opposed to waiting till later. All right. Yes, do that on YouTube. Ask Greg a legal
and
question.
subscribe.
I want to
and
interrupt real
subscribe.
quick.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell for notification.
Knock
My
the
brother-
triangle. Go get lunch. Open a bag of chips. These are all
My-
things required on YouTube.
I just want to say real quick, my brother wants to say hi to you guys, and he can't wait to meet you when he comes up to Portland next time.
When's he
He's
coming?
been there like 10 years because he's a new convert. He's been slowly watching every show. He's
Oh,
up to
no.
last season.
Oh,
He's basically, in 6 months, listened to 100 episodes or whatever we've done it.
wow. That's more than you've listened to, Greg.
Wow.
No, I listen to every one. I actually do.
Wow,
Just to see
that's,
what a prick you are to me, Matt. I'm like writing down like
It's
my
all evidence.
on my enemies list. Like, oh, another reason why I'm gonna get mad.
Matt
Dear-
is not nice to me.
Dear Diary.
Diary.
Brendan said I look
This
like
thing
Danny
every day.
DeVito. I don't think I do.
I definitely got to
Asshole.
find the picture of the guy that I'm thinking of, but it would totally match. You guys would go, oh, yes. You would definitely know the guy I was talking about if I could think of his name and if they had a picture of him. Anyway, so our client for today, that's nuts, you fruit. That came about because I was having a conversation with one of the kids here about what a cashew is, and that a cashew is part of a fruit called the cashew. And then I started digging a little deeper into the definition of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, and it turns out nuts are fruits.
Nuts are fruits.
But not only that, fruits are vegetables.
So they're all the same thing.
Not all the time.
So I was right
Some
the whole
fruits are
time when I was a
vegetables.
kid. There's meat and everything else.
Maybe that, yes. But so where I got really confused today was I decided to look up the term vegetable. And the term vegetable essentially means parts of plants that are consumed by humans or other animals as food. So that can include the flowers, fruits, stems, leaves, roots, and seeds.
Everything.
So a fruit is a
It's a
vegetable.
vegetable.
A seed
A seed.
is a vegetable.
So a fruit is a special type of vegetable. A seed is a special type of vegetable. All
Yeah.
things are vegetables.
A subset.
Yeah.
Right, but there's
Like
there's
the taxonomy of it would be like that, right?
yeah, that's kind of how it started, but there's more specific terminology. So the exact definition of vegetable, this is from Wikipedia, may vary simply because of the many parts of a plant consumed as food worldwide: roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. That's the broadest definition, but more specifically, a vegetable, a secondary meaning, is the edible part of a plant. But a more precise definition is any plant part consumed for food that is not a fruit or seed, but including mature fruits that are eaten as part of a main meal, which confuse things further by saying including mature fruits.
Mature.
So this falls outside of definitions are edible fungi like mushrooms, edible seaweed.
That's a vegetable.
They're not parts of plants, but they're often treated as vegetables. So here's the funny thing is where this kind of all starts is that the question of whether the tomato is a fruit or a vegetable was taken up by the United States Supreme Court in 1893.
Why would they waste their time doing that?
Well,
They didn't have anything to do.
either
Why was
way,
that
well, it was in 1893, so they were dealing with Civil War issues, and maybe people were trying to get away with certain things regarding tomatoes. I don't know. But they say that tomato is correctly identified as, and thus taxed as, so it's probably a taxation thing, as a vegetable. But for the purposes of the tariff of 1883, but because of the purposes for the tariff in 1883 on imported produce. However, the court acknowledged that botanically speaking, a tomato is a fruit.
Botanically speaking.
It's not.
Botanically, it's a fruit.
When you want like a sweet fruit, I want a desserty thing, you're not going to grab a tomato. So as far as I'm concerned,
right,
I don't
but
give a shit about what scientists say. I do it.
So you should have your MAGA hat on then.
No, yeah, I don't.
Because you just said you don't give a shit what scientists say, Greg.
On this issue, I don't. I'm sorry. Anyone would be like, "Hey, you got any fruit? Here's a tomato." It'd be
well, here's a definition of a fruit, like a difference. So a fruit develops from the flower of a plant.
Right.
Yeah.
While the other parts of the plant are categorized as vegetables. So fruits contain seeds, while vegetables can consist of roots, stems, and leaves.
Yeah.
Right? But what's actually a seed, right? So a seed is a small edible plant enclosed in a seed coat.
It's an egg. It's
Seed
a
coat?
egg.
Most nuts are seeds, but not all seeds are nuts. But nuts generally are fruits that have a hard outer shell that doesn't crack open naturally.
So walnut is a fruit, you're saying?
Yes.
A
That's
walnut?
not true.
Or it's a true nut.
No.
You're a true nut.
Scientists would say that, but I don't accept it.
Anyone listening to this podcast at this point is a fruit
nut.
or a true nut.
But,
Yes.
but I want to say common knowledge, I think, is the best way to go here. Like, just what do people say when you have I want a nut. Here's a walnut. If I said, hey, I want some fruit, somebody handed me a walnut, I'd slap them and be like, fuck you. I said a fruit.
Greg,
See,
you should be slapping people regarding nuts, for one thing. But according to the Forest Service,
maybe
the
you should slap
USDA,
people about nuts.
Or you just slap people who are nuts.
Right.
All right. According to the Forest Service, nuts are actually fruits. They're defined as dry, single-seeded fruits that have high oil content. They're usually enclosed in a leathery or solid outer layer, which definitely is the definition of Greg. In botany terms, nuts are strictly a particular kind of dry fruit that has a single seed, a hard shell, and a protective husk, which is more of like my definition. So,
I'm a banana.
you're not a dry fruit, is what you're saying.
Is
I'm a wet fruit.
Nut?
What?
Is banana a nut?
No, it's a berry.
It's a legume.
No, it's not a legume. Banana is a berry, right?
You're blowing my mind right now, Matt. Like all of this is
what the fuck is a banana? A banana is what? Come on,
It's
doctor.
tasty.
It is tasty.
So what? You want to know the definition of a banana?
It's a fruit, right? Please tell
Is
me.
it a fruit?
Because if it's not a fruit, I'm just like,
A banana is a elongated.
Well, a banana is both the fruit and the plant. So
Well,
which are we talking about?
Wikipedia
the
says
banana fruit that you eat.
it's an elongated edible fruit. Botanically, it's a berry.
All right, but according to the dictionary, a banana is a long, curved fruit which grows in clusters and has soft, pulpy flesh and yellow skin when ripe. Or two, it's the tropical and subtropical palm-like plant that bears bananas, having very large leaves but lacking a woody trunk.
But berry is a subset of fruit, so Brendan's saying, yes, it's a fruit, but it's a berry.
It's specifically a berry.
So if I ask for a berry...
Well, what the hell is the definition of a berry now? See, this is the rabbit hole we're going in.
But if I ask for a berry smoothie at a coffee house and they give me a banana smoothie, I'd say, fuck you. That's not a berry.
You have
There's no fucking way a banana's a berry.
It's a berry. Strawberry.
Well, technically. But this is why scientists. I'm putting on a MAGA hat now. Wait, do I have one? I have one around here somewhere. It's like, no, fuck science on this. It's just what we have defined as fruits, nuts, and berries is what we should go by. Tomatoes are in the vegetable section.
Fine. I'm with you. I'm with you on the fact that there's at least two sections. One section of sweet edible plant stuff, which generally is fruits.
Yeah.
And non-sweet edible plant stuff like broccoli and carrots.
Yeah, beets.
I mean, because then you get into potatoes, and they're not technically either. They're a tuber, they're a root, but it's edible plant.
Tomato?
No, potato.
Oh, potato.
So potato is a vegetable. Right?
So a tomato is also a berry.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's right. It is
So
a berry.
what is a potato then? What is a potato?
What is a potato?
What is it classified as?
That is what you are after many drinks, Greg.
It's a tuber.
Right now.
It is a growth on the root
tumor.
system. It's a tuber.
You are a growth.
I mean, you grow potatoes from potatoes.
So would you say it's
Nightshade family. That was the word I was looking for before. Nightshade. Anyway, so potatoes, a starchy plant tuber, which is one of the most important food crops, cooked and eaten as a vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
A vegetable. So there you go.
as a vegetable?
It's a root
technically
thing.
a
Like
vegetable?
a carrot is a root thing. Turnip. No, is turnips? I don't know.
Yeah, they're underground.
They're underground,
Pull a
right?
turnip out of the ground.
Turnips,
Radishes.
radishes. Yeah, they're all root.
Parking
Vegetables.
garages.
But they're a phylum of the genus of vegetable.
Yeah.
They're still part of vegetables.
They're
All right,
still
so
vegetables.
so a tuber is a much thickened underground part of a stem or rhizome, like the potato, serving as a food reserve and bearing buds from which new plants arise.
Right.
So that is a tuber.
So if you
So
plant,
it's an underground part of a stem.
yeah, but I'm saying if you take a potato and you plant it, just bury a potato in the backyard, it'll grow a potato and make
Right.
more potatoes.
If you cut off Greg's head and plant that in the backyard,
But you can't do that with a banana. You can't take a banana out in the backyard and bury it and grow a banana tree. I've proven this.
I'm just a
well, it's
potato
because a banana's
looking
a
for
berry;
tomato.
it's not a tuber.
But they're all vegetables. I should be
Right?
able-
Fruits are vegetables.
I'm just saying I should be able. If I wrote the code, I would be able to plant a head of lettuce and grow lettuce.
And by the way, a coffee bean is a berry.
I think I heard that.
It's not a
It's
legume.
still stupid, but I
That's
heard
stupid.
that.
It's
Yeah.
a legume. It's a bean by.
No, I think it is
by
a berry.
definition.
That's just shaped like a bean, but it's actually a seed. So a berry, there's two definitions of berry. A berry is a small, roundish, juicy fruit without a stone, or it's any of various kernels or seeds, such as the coffee bean. So it makes me wonder if corn is a berry.
Corn is a fruit.
It's a kernel.
No, it's a general.
It's a lieutenant colonel.
It's a kernel.
Well, all right, I'm going to do definition of
It's an attaché
corn kernel.
general.
It's a right.
It's a way to use marketing in digital form. All right, so corn kernels are the fruits of corn.
So it's a fruit?
It's a fruit.
That's what you eat.
The corn
what I just
kernels
said.
are the fruits.
And that's what
Yes,
you eat. So
'cause
it's
that's what you eat.
When you're eating corn, you're eating a fruit. You're saying.
But corn in and of itself is a grain.
The cob?
I don't know.
That doesn't make.
I'm like thoroughly confused now.
I
That doesn't
know.
make
It's
any
like
sense.
that's why we just have to go with common sense and just be like,
There is no common
corn-
sense to this, Greg.
there is corn is a
There's
vegetable.
not.
You eat it with dinner. You don't
It's-
eat it for dessert.
It's
You
a
don't eat it
fruit.
when you want a snack.
I'm just saying, but by definition of functionality, biologically speaking, it's a fruit.
Yeah.
But you're right. You wouldn't, I used to tell, when I was teaching Bridget how to play Dungeons and Dragons, I told her, look, because we were talking about intelligence and wisdom scores, for your player. And I said, intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. And that handled her on the difference between the two.
I think I have wisdom then.
There's a
I
third
know
part of
intelligence.
that saying, but I can't remember what it is.
I don't know. That's the only
To the
parts I
Dungeons and
know.
Dragons thing, don't put tomatoes in your anus. Is that the
No,
third part?
that's a different one.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that either.
That's good
But
advice.
I decided to look up what cereal was too, because they're saying that corn is a cereal grain. So a cereal is any grass cultivated for the edible components of its grain.
Oh, if
But-
you're
Botanically, a type of fruit called a caryopsis.
okay.
So now cereal is a fruit.
Oh,
What?
God.
What?
Ridiculous. These scientists. Just round them up and shoot them all. They're just confusing everyone.
All right, what the
You know,
hell?
it's. I
What
think.
is grain?
I think the
Defiance.
key here is determining who has the right authority to make these classifications. And I'm going with not these guys. I'm kind of on Greg's side of people who eat this stuff should call it what it is to them.
Yeah, the
And
guy at
that's-
Safeway in charge of the produce department. Yeah, take his word for it.
you always make a user interface work for the user. If you made the developer happy and you put that out to the public, no one would use your software. You know what I mean?
All right, so I looked up grain now. So grain is a small, hard, dry seed with or without an attached hull or fruit layer.
That's
So
me.
walnut.
I
is
think I'm a
grain
seed.
gummy.
I think that describes me what you just read.
And a grain crop is a grain-producing plant. So I think that's where I've kind of lost myself, is like I forgot about the word plant. So everything comes back to a plant. So it's the edible things that are parts of plants that are the fruits and the vegetables and the seeds and the nuts.
Unless it's a mushroom, because a mushroom isn't a plant.
It's not a plant? All right, well, now we have to look up what the definition of a plant is. Thank you, Brendan.
Well, I'm just saying.
Fungus seems
Thank you
different
for
than
that
what-
additional rabbit hole.
I do
I'm just-
almost accept that. Yeah, mushrooms are so different than any other plant.
Well, they're
Fungi.
not. They're a fungi. They're
That's
their
what I mean.
own thing. Yeah.
But isn't
But
a
they're still
fungi a
vegetables.
plant?
No, it's a different.
Why isn't it?
It's a different kingdom. It's a whole different
Species,
biology-wise. It's a whole thing. Yeah,
All right, a plant is a place where an industrial or manufacturing process takes place.
that's the wrong plant, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't need that now, Matt.
the company has 30 plants in Mexico.
That's
But
not a
is
lot of
the
plants.
but is what's inside of that plant edible? Is the real question.
Well, that would make it a seed.
Plant
make
is
it-
an FBI informer in the mafia. That's a plant too, but you can't eat it for dessert or main course.
All right, a plant is a living organism of the kind exemplified by trees, shrubs, herbs, grasses, ferns, and mosses, typically growing in a permanent site, absorbing water and inorganic substances through its roots, and synthesizing nutrients in its leaves by photosynthesis using the green pigment chlorophyll.
A plant
Mushrooms
has
have no.
chlorophyll.
Yeah, mushrooms have no roots, right?
They got no roots.
They have I forget what they call them.
And they have
their
no chlorophyll.
They have the little tentacles that go through the funguses. I spent a whole bunch of time with dagging on fungus. They're amazing.
So fungus is, or fungi is, any of a group of spore-producing organisms feeding on organic matter, including molds.
That's like black mold, right? Black
Yeah,
mold,
including
the fuck-
molds, yeast, mushrooms, and toadstools.
Yes.
Why do we eat them?
Quick question though, Greg. What's the difference between a mushroom and a toadstool?
A toadstool is used by witches in their ceremonies as poisonous.
Oh, really? That's the difference?
Yes, and
It's the witch thing.
because the toads poop on them, and it makes them toxic.
The toads poop on them.
Yeah, they're fecal matter. You're eating toad shit.
They're,
Why did Brendan go all chipmunky on us?
I think he likes that particular one. I think that's why. All right,
I don't
so
know.
some toadstools are poisonous, some aren't.
That's true.
But it doesn't really say what the difference is. So the difference is toadstool is the spore-bearing fruiting body of a fungus, typically in the form of a rounded cap on a stalk, especially one that is believed to be inedible or poisonous. So mushroom is a fungal growth that typically takes the form of a domed cap on a stalk with gills on the underside of the cap.
All those like
Gills.
striations,
Hmm.
No gills, Greg.
the gills.
They're not
I never
striations.
thought
They're
of gills in my life. I
Fungus
never
or
said,
fish?
Gills.
Some
Yeah,
magnificent
it's
gills.
Lots
on
of very, very tiny men named Gilbert that they put under the cap
Gil
mushroom.
Gerard from Buck
Right.
Rogers.
Exactly.
Every time you open up a mushroom, it's like, hey, I'm Buck Rogers.
Eventually, Greg always gets back to Buck Rogers. There's always a point somewhere along the lines where Greg winds up with Buck Rogers.
I thought the bottom of that rabbit hole was Richard Gere and the gerbil. That seems to always be the.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's that or a wildebeest is involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just know that it's like, reading comments on a YouTube video. Eventually, it's just.
I'll get around to the gerbils soon and Richard Gere. Believe me.
So is a gerbil a fruit?
Just so you all know, he'll eventually get back to the gerbil.
I will. I'm keeping it alive, the rumor.
That's good.
Which rumor?
About Richard Gere and the gerbils.
Oh.
The rumor.
The one that was
rumor.
spread by Sylvester Stallone because they didn't get along on the movie they made together. Do you know that's how that rumor started?
No, I did not.
That was Stallone?
Yep, Stallone started it.
Well, you know what it was, because Richard Gere was way prettier and better looking than Stallone, so I'm sure he was like jealous and
Yeah.
resentful. I'm going to make up shit about Richard Gere and also about you because you're the best looking member of Quibble, Squabble Bicker, apparently. So now I'm going to make up shit about you because I'm like,
Yeah.
ugh,
That's
that
the
irks
guy.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the handsomest member. Look at this.
Yeah, no, you're doing good. You've got a certain character actor charm.
Well, I don't have a girlfriend anymore and I don't care, so I'm like, yeah, my
I
triple
know how that feels.
It's not that you don't have a girlfriend, Greg. You don't have a domestic abuser anymore, is what you're
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's not get into that. But look at
No,
this.
let's not.
Look how horrible I look without my beard to cover this shit. It's like,
It's all right.
That's quite. It's funny how your head is developing into the shape of a pear.
yeah, that's what happens when you get obese. Not you though. You have the face of a thin man. It's like so weird. You're as big as me, but your
I'm
face.
big. I'm bigger than you, Greg.
Well, you're bigger than me, but your face still has like you don't look like if you just saw you from the neck up, you wouldn't be like, "Oh, this guy's huge." You somehow your head and your face don't look like you're obese.
Wow. If only I could get the rest of my body to do that.
Yeah, figure that out.
I don't know. I don't
Eat
know how
more
to figure
fruits
it
and legumes and nuts. And
Eat
whatever
some
the fuck they're
seeds,
called.
dude.
Everything's a fruit.
Everything's a vegetable.
Everything's a vegetable.
Yeah, everything's a
Everything's a
vegetable.
vegetable.
Except those things that you eat that are sweet, and those are fruits.
Yeah, and
Fruits aren't-
and some
fruits
fruits,
aren't
are
sweet, though.
berries. Some fruits are berries, but a berry is never a vegetable.
All right. So this is the guy that Greg is reminding me of.
Oh, that one. No, but show the Danny DeVito one. I think
he looks way better than me. What's that? I know that guy. He's a character actor, right?
Sidney
Yeah.
Lassick is his name, but he was the guy from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah,
there was worse pictures of him, but
Was he
I mean,
like a little nebbish guy?
no.
Like,
What
like,
Greg needs to do is Greg needs to. What did he? The character was always like, "Hit me, Jack. Jack, hit me, Jack." Wasn't
Yeah,
that
that's-
Danny DeVito's character?
That's the video, right?
yeah.
Hit me. No. You're
What was that
20.
guy, Matt? What was his character? Was he like a little nebbish, just be like shy and be like, you like? Well, I can't remember.
I
haven't
don't
seen it.
remember either. He was kind of a sad sacky type though, so which
We're all
totally
kind of
fits.
sad sacky.
Well, that's definitely me.
Kind of fits within. We'll try this picture. See if this one's. No, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong
Well, I
one.
definitely
too.
recognize him. I just
Oh, it's a pie.
Great
one.
pie. Oh yeah, he's totally whiny, just like ew.
I don't
Where's
like it.
Ratchet? I just want to watch the World Series.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
take
the one.
shit.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember him now.
But he wants me to look up Danny DeVito, so we'll look up.
Oh God, he's so cute in that movie when he's young.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only movie when he's young. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
did anything like 5 till 6 years later, in the late 70s. He's
I know,
like,
It's weird how many of the people in that movie went on to do other things, and you're like, oh,
but way later.
but way later. Like you go, that movie was like 15 years ago.
I
But
can't
Yeah.
believe that Native American guy never got another role, as far as I know. He was amazing.
Well, he didn't do much talking.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but he makes the movies such a great presence,
right, but maybe he couldn't act worth a damn. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's true. He could lift a fucking what did he lift? A refrigerator and threw it through the window?
No, it was a water fountain, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Was
it
it
a
water fountain? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
because he had to rip it out of the wall and then he had
Yeah.
to chuck it through the window.
I want to watch that movie right now. Let's just watch the movie and talk about it. And forget about this stupid topic. Stupid clown.
I don't think this is a stupid topic at all. It's totally gotten us like.
It is pretty fascinating. Like it's crazy that all these things are like, oh, banana's a berry.
Yeah,
I never would have thought that.
I think this is one of those times where you just go, whatever. Guy that gets paid money at some place to.
That's not even from. That's old Danny DeVito.
That is old Danny.
He was
DeVito.
so baby faced.
But you're old Greg, so that's
Yeah,
how
I
it
know.
fits.
I'm just saying, and he was so kind of cute and baby faced in One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest. It's kind of funny to see it.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't wearing glasses then, which you're wearing, so it doesn't quite work. You know.
No.
Not really, it don't. But anyway, so we've reached the point of Waspy Soda Pop time.
Waspy
So
Soda Pop.
time for a new thing from Waspy.
I'm so
Soda
curious to see what's on sale at Safeway.
Pop. I think you're gonna like Safe Mart's product for today.
At Safe Mart, it's a Safe Mart. Come to Safe Mart and be safe.
Safe Mart is a proud sponsor of Food is for Eating with Waspy Soda Pop. Today's special, Pig's Blood Cake. 5 sticks for $10. Come get some at Safe Mart. Be safe.
Food is for eating. Food is for eating. Food is for eating with Waspy Soda Pop.
Hey there, everybody. This is Waspy Soda Pop with a brand new episode of Food is for Eating. I have for you a recipe that is popular all over Mexico, and I'm bringing it to you here today so you can make this at home. You're going to love this. This is my super serious key lime pie. Here are your ingredients. First, you want to get a pre-made graham cracker crust. You can get that at Safe Mart or any other local grocery store, but Safe Mart is the best. And 1 tablespoon of lime zest for your filling. Plus, you need like a half a teaspoon for the topping. You'll need that later. You want 3 egg yolks. I recommend chicken eggs. If you go for ostrich eggs, you're going to wind up having probably too much yolk. And then you know what happens? The yolk's on you. Ha ha ha. Then you get 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, half a cup of lime juice from about 4 to 6 limes. You get a 1/4 cup of Ready Whip or some other whipped cream. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten some of that before. Don't use like the Cheese Whiz stuff because that makes a whole different pie. Then you want to get 4 aluminum house keys. Carefully shred those. All right, now we have our directions. You want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Put the egg yolks into a medium bowl. Using an electric whisker, or you can whisk it by hand, beat until the yolks thicken and lighten up a bit in color. That'll take about 3 minutes. Beat in the lime zest and the sweetened condensed milk for about another 2 minutes. Whisk in the lime juice until smooth. Add the shredded house keys. Stir that up. Then you want to pour the key lime pie filling into the pre-baked pie crust. Pour the filling into the prepared graham cracker crust and then bake it at 3. I think I just said that, didn't I? I said pour it and then pour it. Just do one of the pourings. If you pour it twice, one of those times there won't be anything to pour in. After the pouring, you want to bake that at 350 degrees in the middle rack of your oven, not something else. I know where your minds are. For only 10 minutes till the filling is just set. Remove from the oven, let cool to room temperature, chill in the refrigerator for an hour to overnight. You see any of those key shreddings sticking out over the top, just kind of push them in with your finger. It'll be okay. And, it'll give an interesting texture to the top of your pie. Then you spread the whipped cream over the top of the chilled key lime pie, sprinkle with a little more lime zest, chill that till you're ready to serve it, or eat it right then. Enjoy yourself. This is super serious key lime pie from Waspy Soda Pop and Food is for Eating. I'll see you next time, or you'll hear me, or both.
Do you think that he rushed that episode because his southern accent lapsed a few times? I've never heard Waspy Soda Pop.
Well, we don't actually know where he's from.
I know. Well, it sounds pretty southern. Like
I know, but where? What part of the South do you think he's from?
I think he's from South
the
Dakota.
Ozarks. Yeah, it could be southern LA.
I think what it is he came from like somewhere in the South, like maybe Pensacola, Florida, and then he moved to like Minnesota or something, and then it like confused his ability to talk.
Pensacola, Florida, it'd probably have maybe a Cuban accent.
In Pensacola?
You need to work on your Florida geography.
What? What
But
about
I never-
Appalachicola, Greg?
I never heard his accent lapse.
Appalachia Coca-Cola.
You put the lime in the coconut. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there were no there was one fruit mentioned in that particular episode from Waspy Soda Pop.
Also, he really sold out. I never heard him he takes money from Safe Mart as a sponsor,
Yeah.
and yet he was just like, "Oh, you can buy that at Safe Mart. Go to Safe Mart." It's kind of selling out.
Well, that's probably why he picked it as a sponsor, is because he uses it himself.
Okay, but I don't know. It's a little whorish.
Well, no one ever said that he was a model citizen.
That's true.
I mean, if you've ever tried to make one of his recipes, you'd figure that one out pretty fast.
Well, I mean that's another one where we gotta put a warning. If you make this, you might choke on some keys.
No.
You might die.
There weren't any really good instructions on how to actually shred the keys, though. It's like, what device do you use to shred keys?
I think you could take one of those big, kind of basically the same tool they use to grind keys.
Yeah.
And just
down.
just take the
What
teeth
about a
right off.
cyclotron?
Kind of hard to come by. Might pop
Let's
a
go to your
fuse.
local
Cyclotrons R Us?
Yeah.
And they'll spin it so fast.
I mean,
it melts and-
Greg, I've been to your place. Your place could not handle that electrical output.
No,
Your
but
refrigerator
Waspy-
would explode.
Waspy's proven through his cousins, especially, that he has amazing access to shit. He has the saints from the catacombs of Rome. He's been able to access to shred up in his recipes. So I think he could find a.
I don't think he had actual access to the saints so much as access to the tombs where their bones were. There's nothing magical going on there, Greg.
That's pretty fucking hard to go into those things and steal a saint's bones.
Have you tried?
That's master criminal shit.
Have you tried, Greg? It might be simple.
No, because I'm not a master criminal. I mean, they're garbage.
I have
no.
I have a jawbone in my closet.
St. Paul.
St. Nicholas.
St. John, come on. I'm not messing around.
He's got St. Nicholas's jawbone in the back.
St. Christopher, he didn't.
He uses it for smiting.
The jaw, yeah.
Right.
Chase people around the neighborhood and beat them with it.
He smites his enemies with St. Nicholas's jawbone.
Get out of my way.
I have a St. Swithin's umbilical cord, so it's like powdery dust.
Yeah, you sprinkle that on toast. Or,
Yeah, it's magical.
Yeah, it's a little coffee.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I think right now is a good time to move into the legal segment of the show. Brendan, you're going to have to take a look in the email, see what people have sent for Greg for their questions, because we got nothing from YouTube. Our viewers are merely viewers, possibly, or just hanging around in the neighborhood.
Sanchez didn't step up to the plate.
No, it's sad, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
He has an opinion, may not always be right. He's a real fake lawyer. He's old and he's white. Ask him a question, 'cause he's a good egg for bogus advice. Ask Greg. Ask Greg.
Ask Greg.
Ask Greg.
Ask Greg.
Very good.
They call him Ask Greg.
Ask Greg.
So this is the part of the show, those of you who are just tuning in, and I'm sure there aren't any, where we ask Greg a legal question to determine what the response is, so that you can go about your way knowing you've got legitimate, horrible advice that you should not take because
I don't
he's
have a
not a
beard
lawyer.
anymore to stroke, so I can look sage.
Rub your top of your head.
Yeah,
And make a wish.
that's actually better.
Yeah, that's good luck.
I wish I was at a different podcast.
Rub your armpit hair, Greg.
No, don't do that. That's gross.
No, it's stinky right now. Oh my god!
Please.
I don't know what I ate yesterday, but I've never had such stinky armpits in like.
Okay, getting to the emails. Here we go.
There,
Ooh,
his nose was right in his armpit. That was fantastic.
Okay, so this is a fascinating tale. This is from Florida. I know.
of course.
Yeah.
True story, actually. This is not even, I didn't make this up. This is a true story. And one of the people are contacted our offices because of, my extensive network of idiot friends in Florida.
This is a divorce court story?
No. That has to do with a murder.
Why would you know what it is if he's reading it from the email, Greg?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he was being coy and like, hey, Greg, I want advice about my situation. No, that's not what's happening here. So let me get to the story.
Yes, or at least the legal question.
Dear Greg, I live in Jacksonville, Florida. My neighbor and I are in a bit of a dispute. I had a pet rooster named Big Roo. Big Roo was, he was a free roaming rooster, ran around the neighborhood. My neighbor beat him to death with a stick yesterday, and he said it was in self-defense. My question is, if the rooster was on his property when he hit him with the stick, do I have a claim against him for animal cruelty because it's a cruel thing to hit a rooster with a stick? And that it probably wasn't in self-defense. I think he was just had it out for the rooster.
Well, he says that.
Let me know what you think, Greg.
So let me clarify. The neighbor killed the rooster when it was on his property.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that what is it called? Stand down law.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Thank you.
Well, you're the legal expert, Greg. You're supposed to know.
Well, I am, but I'm drunk. I'm extra drunk on this episode.
I'm kind of like, co-counsel. But
stand your ground is, stand your ground. Roosters, there's many instances in the history of jurisprudence where roosters have attacked people, performed bodily injury, God damn it.
But do you think, but
injury on them?
I know you've got a lot of important words to stumble through.
Like injury. That's a tough one.
Let me see if I can move the conversation along so we don't get any more brain damage. The question is, stand your ground is definitely a factor here, but it was a known fact. Everyone in the neighborhood knew the rooster. The rooster traveled around quite a bit, apparently. Yes. So the rooster had been in the neighbor's yard more than once. And then the real question is, could you really consider a rooster to be an imminent threat? Like say an unarmed African-American kid coming home from, 7-Eleven or Safe Mart.
Yes, that is a valid threat.
Yeah, I know that's a valid threat, but I'm saying is a rooster.
Well, I mean, like I said, there have been reported cases of roosters pecking the eyes out of people and eating their brains through their eye sockets. So maybe that day, that rooster, what was his name? Big Roo?
Big Roo.
Maybe Big Roo was surly that day. He was in a bad mood.
Right.
And he knew that neighbor didn't like him because he was crowing every morning, and the neighbor was like, "You woke me up again. Get rid of that rooster." And he just went off. I mean, it just takes one bad day for things to happen. And maybe he attacked the guy and started pecking his eyes, and he did what he had to do. So
advice
we would have to go to trial. We'd have to prove, hopefully you get witnesses who saw the event.
Right.
Did the rooster attack the guy, or did the guy just come at him with a stick because he was on his property? It still stands your ground, though. If you came to my property and said, "Hey, Greg, I just wanted to stop by," I could shoot you and get off.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I could be like, "Oh, I was scared. I didn't know who Brendan was. I thought it was a threatening home invader." So I think it's legally, this guy's, the email guy is shit out of luck.
All right, I'll let him know.
Fair enough. But I think we did get a country song out of this particular story.
Tell me the title, please.
What's the country song?
We've brought you here today to hear the tale of Big Roo, the free roaming rooster. Big Roo, free roaming rooster. Big Roo, free roaming rooster. He pecked the eyes out to get to the brains because that's what he likes to eat. Big Roo, Big Roo, Big Roo.
One day he roamed a little too freely.
That is a true story. That actually happened. I watched the news clip on YouTube. It was
but there's no footage of the actual attack. So
no, but they did. The local Jacksonville News did have a picture of the rooster, not at that moment, but just sort of roostering around the trailer park where this all took
You know what I
place.
would have loved is like one of those
roostering
90s.
around.
I would have loved those true crime reenactment shows from the 90s to reenact that with bad actors,
Yeah.
like a bad rooster actor to be like, I'm attacking you.
Or they could have like a shadow, and it's like the hen. She's like, I miss Big Roo. He killed my husband.
That reminds me of the chicken lady from Kids in the Hall.
I don't remember the chicken lady.
Oh, you don't? She
No.
kept wanting to have sex with models. She
But
would hire male prostitutes.
That's maybe I am remembering this a little bit, but it was funny because the guy who actually killed the rooster with the stick was 100% good old Florida boy, because he's like, then the bastard called the chicken police. So the cops actually came and arrested this guy. This guy spent a day in jail for hitting this rooster with a stick
on his own property.
on his own property.
So he didn't claim that the rooster attacked him. He didn't
He
say
did. No, he said that's why he hit him with the stick. He said the
Okay.
rooster came at him, like attacked him.
Self-defense.
And he took the stick and was like, get out of here, rooster. And he hit him and he goes, must have been a lucky hit because he just dropped dead. Now, what he didn't do was he didn't, like, pick the chicken's dead body up and take it to the guy and go, hey, I killed the chicken.
this.
Sorry, he attacked me. He just
I
left
would
it in
eat
a,
him.
he just left it in a ditch.
It's
I
like,
would've
here's
cooked
$5 to get one from the grocery store.
Yeah, that's a free chicken. Why would you do that? Take it home and cook it.
I don't know.
I think normally people eat hens, not roosters.
I'm sure roosters are pretty tasty. They're a little tough, maybe. A little tougher.
Are they?
Well, I don't know, because they're more masculine.
You don't know.
Muscular.
All I know is that the song got more entertaining knowing that it was killed in the end, the rooster, and whacked in the head by a good old boy.
So do you have a verse for that, Matt?
Not
it
at the
to us.
moment. And then
In
from
the
out
day.
of the cabin, old Joe came with his killing stick. He saw Big Roo come and turned him. That's a word I just made up on the quick.
Turn him. Turn him. And
And then he hit Big Roo in the head with the Big Roo stick.
Matt, it wasn't a cabin, it was a trailer.
It was yeah, well, it
I
might
don't
have, no, it was
remember
definitely a trailer. I saw.
I don't
the
remember
trailer.
details.
He came out of his double wides and defended his property.
The rooster had apparently attacked the killer. He had attacked his father. His father must have been in his 70s because this guy was like our age or older. And he had pictures for the media that he had printed off of his father's legs where the chicken had attacked him. So he was like trying to show the pictures, but he couldn't tell what it was. Oh, it was classic Florida.
I thought you made this up. I was surprised to find out you were talking about a real story.
This is a real story. It happened like, I don't know, less
I
than
gotta
a week
say,
ago.
guys, I think I told you this story before, but the first week of COVID, I still had to work. I wasn't, quarantined. I had to go to work because I was a fast food worker, and the streets were empty. The crows took over. I swear to God, every day I'd walk to work, just like streets would be filled with like a murder of crows, just like eating some bread that someone left. And the first week, I guess there was maybe a baby crow born, and they started freaking out when I came within a block of the certain area on my way to work. They were just like, gah, gah, gah. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? I'm just walking down the street, and maybe he was a baby in the nest, and that's how they protect him. And then when I got closer, fucking a crow fucking dive bombed me twice. I came within a foot of my head. It was scary as fuck.
Mhm.
There he
And crows
was,
are as big as chickens.
walking down the street,
You didn't have your crow
when all
stick,
of a
though.
sudden the crow wanted something to eat.
You're like
Hey, the
fucking
crow's
Woody
on
Nelson
Greg's
today.
head. He's going to attack him today. It's
You
a
know
murder
why?
of crows. Greg's going to die today. Hey, they're the crows.
You know why I did not take a stick and attack that crow? Because crows are fucking smart and they remember. I never fuck with a crow. No matter what a crow does to you, if it dive bombs your head, just be like, sorry, and run across the street. Because you will be harassed by every crow in the neighborhood for years to come.
All I know is that clip goes into the highlight reel for years to come.
It's good advice. Thank you. This is like a public service announcement. Like, don't fuck with crows. Ever. No matter how shitty they are.
The crows are coming to get you.
Just run. Don't, swat at them.
Don't beware of lions or tigers or bears. Beware of the crows. There's no lions and tigers and
bears in Portland, Matt. But we have crows.
They could be if everybody was gone.
There could be if, the organization I was pimping earlier gets its way. There could be several packs of wolves.
Wait. Right. Because they're going to bring wolves to Portland? Town.
They're going to bring packs of wolves to every major U.S. city.
I love wolves ever since I was a little kid.
Oh, you're going to really love them when they're running through your neighborhood, let me tell you.
But I really don't want them living with me. I love them.
Oh, no, that's the whole point. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
The point is that they will live with you, Greg.
I'm just saying it's time for the homeless population in Portland. It's time to level up, guys. You've sort of mastered whatever this bullshit thing you're doing is. If we had wolves, now you've got a predator. It's a whole new game. It's a whole new thing. You're not just cutting down trees in some random lot, in whatever, stealing cars. No, now you've got something that's coming to get you. I think it'd be great.
Packs of wolves fighting off the meth population.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's a good reason. It's like the purge. It's like, let's bring back wolves to weed out the poor, homeless, defenseless people.
Right.
We don't have walls.
And then what the general population does is you're just instructed to carry with you at all times some kind of T-bone or fillet of some sort of steak, and you just carry that with you at all times. Kind of like your mask and your vax card. You just have your meat, and if the wolves come, you just chuck the meat, and then they'll run to the meat, and then you can get away. So that's how you handle it yourself. But
except for the other pack that comes for you because you still smell like the meat that you checked at the other pack of wolves.
Well, you got a minute, you got some time.
Okay.
But I think homeless people can't really afford a steak.
That's why isn't that the interest?
But they can't afford the remains of the other homeless people that were attacked by the wolves.
They could do that, have a hand or an arm or a forearm of one of their guys who got killed and be like, I'll throw that.
Have a loose pancreas on their belt.
Yeah, whatever. A liver.
I sent a picture of the homeless camp across from the plaid pantry where I'm staying, and to my friend, and he said, "Are you on set at The Walking Dead?" No, this is across the street from my corner store. He's like, "So when you go get beer, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. It is like a movie set over there."
You're making new friends since you moved to
Portland. It's all over Portland.
Fantastic.
Okay, once again, I'm going to be Pinko Petix and just be like,
Pinko Petix?
Yeah.
Pinko Petix.
Wait, let me highlight your face then. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but, I was just driving to lunch with a friend 3 days ago, and he was just commenting so, negatively about, look at this fucking shit. And I'm like, well, there's homeless people. They found a little nook that they could live in. Why are you going to give them shit about it? It's better than just walking around downtown, with no tent. It's there's a lot of homeless people after COVID. Yeah. And it's
well, there was a lot of homeless people before. Here's what needs to happen. And this is coming from Tangerine Brendan.
Tangerine Brendan. Because you're not a Pinko, you're orange.
I'm orange somehow.
You're like one of the Roundheads from the Civil War in Great Britain.
Yes. Well, the simple solution to the homeless problem is build houses. Well, wolves it's a short-term solution, but the ones that survive, build them a house.
They've actually done that,
yeah,
and there have been issues. There have been issues with that particular solution as well.
A lot of low-income houses.
It wasn't an issue in the state of Mississippi. It wasn't an issue in Scandinavia where they did it.
It's because you don't have Portland's political system there.
Well, once again, maybe it's partially the wolves. Maybe you don't allow politicians to buy meat on the weekends. So
We
anytime
can train the crows to be more deadly.
anytime
Politicians
the
are not
local-
allowed to have meat on weekends. They're all
Oh,
vegan.
weekends, yeah, because now if they're outside, they're also a target potentially. So they either need to stay in, get rid of the wolves, but they're not going to be able to get rid of the wolves. This could be hugely popular. Then they're going to have to solve the homeless problem. That's the only option.
So if
Okay,
a homeless
I-
person is living in a tiny house, are they a fruit, a nut, or a seed?
I think they're a seed because they're a tiny little fruit inside of a hard shell. Was that a seed?
I think I have a better solution until we get wolves in Portland, which I
Yes.
can't wait. I'm crossing my fingers. Bring the wolves back.
We already have coyotes. I don't know that we need wolves.
But this is what we have to do. What we do is we take the crows and we hire this big movie theater auditorium. We show them Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And they're smart enough that they'll
This
be
comes
like,
back to the crows, doesn't it?
yeah, the crows
Weaponize-
are fucking
weaponize
scary.
the crows.
Crows are terrifying me. I'm terrified of crows.
What if the crows all had little lasers on their heads, Greg?
Oh my god, that's my nightmare. Fucking cybernetic parts,
That's your nightmare. That's
nanobites in their
hilarious.
blood. But like we train that we show the crows the birds and say, guys, you could hurt us a lot more. You just don't.
You
do
show
it.
the crows the birds,
Yeah, by Alfred Hitchcock.
but you show the crows the birds.
Yeah,
We're showing
Okay.
the birds. We're kind of back into that whole.
we rent out a whole
is a
movie
bird.
theater. We
It's
rent
not a
the government rents out
pterodactyl.
movie
And
theaters.
you bring in
says-
all of the crows to watch the movie The
And they
Birds.
sit in their
Yeah.
little chairs, and then we give them popcorn and sodas and
They'd love
whatever.
that.
Jujubes.
Oh
And
man.
sorry to be anti-Semitic there. I don't know if that's canceled. Jujubes.
That's anti-Semitic bees, actually.
Yes.
Those
And then
jujubes.
and the crows will learn. They'll be like, "Hey, we never thought that we could do that. We never tried. We could actually really hurt these fuckers. We could like peck their eyes out and shit."
All
Which
right.
crows don't really do. They just scare you every now and then.
I gotcha. All right, well, on that note, it's time to end off with our final segment for the show so that Brendan can tell us exactly what
Of
What
how
this is all
scary
about.
is of
I think
crows.
he's
I
going
already
to
did
give
the
us
thing.
the last word on fruits, nuts, and seeds and stuff. So
Yeah.
this is the last word with Brendan Haggerty.
Deep-a-deep-a-doop.
So
The Swedish Chef from the Muppets doing that intro.
I don't know why that is, but
all right,
That's
here
what
we
I got.
go.
okay. So we've talked a lot about this subject, and I think it really comes down to two simple things. One, botanists, plant doctors, scientists, people really just need to fucking fuck off. Take a vacation or develop a new hobby or pastime or get involved in a good organization like Races for Refugees or Wolves for Across the Nation. But they're spending their time recategorizing things that have already been categorized into other subcategories. And any self-respecting, kind of semi-OCD person just can't deal with it, which was obviously why this was the topic of this show, given the mental state of the three of us. But the second point is what food should be, or how this all breaks down is what we need. Vegetables and fruits are very easy for us to understand. No one needed anyone to figure out the difference between a banana and a strawberry versus a cashew. No, they're nuts, they're fruits, they're berries, they're whatever we want to call them, either locally, culturally, whatever. So this is a time when science needs to just take a chill pill and take up knitting, because you're not actually making anyone's life any better.
You know what they'll do? They'll take up knitting, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this cross stitch is actually crochet." Oh,
At least they won't be
And
talking
yeah.
about my food or non-food.
Right, and then you get into embroidery, and then it's a whole different ball of
oh
wax.
my God! Don't even start me on that shit.
I'm just
I will go on
saying,
for an hour about embroidery versus crochet.
I'm sticking with my, since a kid, there's meat and there's everything else.
Right, lamp posts,
Yep.
fishing poles,
Now, do you agree with Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec that fish
Alpo.
is really just a vegetable?
No, I
Fish
don't
is
agree with
good
that.
meat.
No, I don't agree with that. Fish is the best. It's just
I like fish.
seafood is expensive, unfortunately.
it's sure it can be.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be expensive. Definitely more expensive than chickens, which are more expensive these days.
Yeah, there's a chicken shortage. We probably need to address the growing chicken crisis.
After they took out Big Roo, that ruined everything.
There's an uprising that's occurring. Roo was like the Malcolm X of chickens in Florida.
Yeah, chickens have been emboldened and they're attacking people and getting killed.
He's the George Floyd for
part
chickens.
of the Chicken Panthers.
Chicken lives matter, damn it.
Not to me.
No, yeah, well,
we know what you are. You're just a fascist.
you're a chicken hater.
You're a chicken fascist, is what you are.
I'm a chicken Nazi.
I'm never going to eat chicken again.
You're a chicken cannibal.
I'm only eating beef. Screw the cows.
Well, try not to, because I believe that's illegal. All right, well.
That's illegal in Oregon?
Eating cows is illegal?
If you're screwing cows, yes.
Oh, screw cows. Is that illegal? Is bestiality illegal?
I'm asking for a friend. Is that illegal?
Yeah, I'm just for a
I
friend.
just wanted to know. I had a friend who had a concern about an incident that involved a lot of tequila.
And what's the age of consent of fucking a cow? Like, is it okay to fuck a cow as a year old or 8 months old?
When it's no longer veal, Greg, then it's okay.
I think it has to be. I think the key is that it has to be, sexually active as a cow.
Yeah. It has to know the difference between milk and semen. It has to know the difference between that, Greg.
I'm still figuring that
There we
out.
go. Now we're off
confused.
YouTube.
Sometimes I'm like, I have my breakfast cereal. And
YouTube is going to use its
over
transcribing
I get
thing and get to
confused.
that sentence and go, nope.
All right, well, this has been the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker, and our client for today has been, That's Nuts, You Fruit. And we'll be back next week, more than likely. In 2 weeks, we will have a comedian as a guest. His name is, I can't remember his name, but he'll be here.
In 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, we'll have a guest, yes.
So next week we have to just make up something to talk
Next
about.
week, we'll have another topic of discussion that is our client.
I
And
think
I'm
we
sure
should
it'll be
Canada.
just as riveting as a discussion about fruits, nuts, and seeds.
Your consultation with the Law Offices of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker has ended. You may pay your retainer at www.qsblaw.org. Please exit to the right of the water cooler and grab a candy from the front desk. We hope to see you again soon, but you need to leave now. I said leave. Why don't they even listen? Get out! Get out!